Hey, today we're going to be breaking down the best and worst places to live in Markham. My name is Ralph Ciancio and I've spent the last 25 years building and selling homes throughout the GTA. But as a resident of Markham, I wanted to give you a short list of the best places to live and a couple of communities I'd say maybe you want to stay away from. So stay tuned to the very end for my complete list. So today I'm going to be breaking down what it's like to live in different pockets within Markham. And by the end of this video, you should know exactly which neighborhood might be the best fit for you or your family if you're thinking about making a move into the city. So let's get started with one of my favorite neighborhoods, and I gotta warn you, I'm a little biased because I actually live there, and that's Markham Village. Markham Village is located near Markham Road and Highway 7, and of course you've got Old Markham Village, which is the community just adjacent to Markham Road on the east and west side. Markham Village, or historic Markham Village, was established in the late 1800s and really I think gives so much charm and character, but also amenities to living in the area. The reason why I love Markham Village is half of Markham Village was built in the early 1970s. Lots are generally 50 or 60 feet wide. I think ultimately community is the reason why I think Markham Village is one of the best places to live. From a personal perspective, I can tell you it's the type of place where you know your neighbors, people smile and wave as they're walking their dogs, and there's tons of festivals. Now you've got great schools like Franklin Elementary School, which is a French immersion school. You have, in the Catholic system, you have St. Cateri Tikawatha, and of course Research Park, all within a walking distance of most homes in Markham Village. From there, you also have great walkability to grocery stores, convenience stores, great restaurants along Main Street, Markham. Personally, I love a Friday night dinner with my family at Folco's restaurant, a great little family-owned Italian restaurant where you could just relax, have a glass of wine, and enjoy a night with loved ones. Another huge benefit for Markham Village is its proximity to the GO station. The Markham GO is located right at Ramona and Main Street, Markham, across the street from the LCBO. Makes it a little extra convenient. But with transit and lines running all the way through to downtown Union Station, makes getting to and from the city center a piece of cake. I was on the train this past week heading down for a concert. Took me 52 minutes to go from my front door to Scotiabank Arena. Pretty fast. Now, a hot button topic in Markham Village is the modernization that we're seeing. As I mentioned, some of the homes built in the early 1970s, if they were not taken care of over the last 50 or 60 years, maybe near their end of life. And what a lot of people are doing is actually buying these older bungalows or backsplits, tearing them down, and then rebuilding their dream family home. Of course, it's a hot button issue because there's that balance between maintaining the culture and identity of the community versus a modernization of the neighborhood and the increase of values for the neighborhood as well. So if you have a dog or you love the outdoors, you're gonna love living in Markham Village. There are tons of parks, small forests, and of course the Rouge River ecosystem just runs right through Markham Village. A great place to go for a Sunday afternoon walk. And of course, if you like sports, you've got a private tennis dome, outdoor courts, and bocce court right in Markham Village, and you're just a stone's throw from the Mount Joy Community Center and the Markham Village Community Center. Great place to lace up your skates and hit the ice. And if you're commuting by car, I'd give Markham Village a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, as there's lots of roadways east and west, as well as north and south. You can easily get to 9th Line, which jumps right towards the Highway 407, or you could take Main Street Markham, or Markham Road as it's known, and that'll jump you towards Highway 7, 407, or head north if you're heading to the cottage. And now one of my other favorites, Berczy. The community of Berczy Village is located just north of Unionville, and it carries the name from one of the original settlers in Markham, the Berczy family. Home of excellent schools, including Pierre Elliott Trudeau, as well as other schools like Castlemore Public School, are great feeder schools, high rankings in the EQAO scores. And of course, the community itself was built, generally speaking, from the late 1990s all the way to 2024. Now, the neighborhood is designed with families in mind, with wide streets, tons of recreational facilities, and Berczy Park, which is right in the center of the community. Soccer fields, baseball diamonds, tennis courts, and of course, lots of forestry to walk through. As a homeowner, you'll love the fact that the homes are well built and newer design. Generally speaking, most of the homes were built in the late 90s all the way up to 2024. So you've got the modern amenities of new construction and new design. Driving through Berczy is one of the most beautiful communities from a aesthetics point of view. In my perspective, the homes were designed with a master plan, which makes it feel more uniform as you're traveling through the community. So from a walkability perspective, I wouldn't say that Berczy's the best, but you do have close proximity to a lot of small strip malls, great grocery stores, and of course you can get to Markham Mall or the Centennial GO station in just about 3 or 5 minutes. I think one of the challenges with living in the Berczy community would be the densification. So the homes are newer built, which is great for amenities and aesthetics, but they're built on smaller lots in general. And what that means is you're a little bit less community feeling than some of the older pockets in Markham, like Unionville, Markham Village, Sherwood, Amber Glen. So from a walkability perspective, I think it's a great community for kids to walk to schools or to parks, but I wouldn't say it's best in class from the perspective of walking to big commercial plazas or high-speed public transit. You're going to need to commute to these sort of locations, which adds to the third challenge, which is congestion. A lot of cars on the road, and traffic is not a big problem, but it's something to consider if you're thinking about moving to Berczy. Now, one of the reasons why the real estate values in Berczy are so high has to do with the number and quality of schools within the community. 7 public schools, 4 Catholic schools, all within the Berczy Village. So if you've got a young family or you're thinking of starting a family, and education is really important for you, I would say Berczy is a community you definitely want to check out, maybe the place that you choose to call home. All right, next we have Unionville, one of the most charming and sought after neighborhoods in all of Ontario. Known for its historic Main Street and quaint atmosphere, Unionville offers a perfect blend of old world charm and modern amenities. Unionville Main Street is lined with heritage buildings, boutique shops, cozy cafes, and it's a popular spot for locals and tourists alike, especially in the summer months when there's tons of events, festivals, and there's always something going on right along Main Street, Unionville. Now, the Varley Art Gallery, nearby Two Good Pond, and the Unionville Library all add to the cultural recreational appeal of Main Street, Unionville. Now, real estate in Unionville is diverse with a mix of historic homes, modern townhomes, and luxurious detached homes. Now, this area is particularly popular for families looking for a safe place to live and a sense of community with the conveniences and cachet of living in Main Street, Unionville. However, the charm of Unionville comes at a price, with property values being amongst the highest in all of Markham. Now, one of the potential downsides for living in the community of Unionville would be the influx of tourists during peak seasons. For example, during Main Street Unionville Festival, which takes place in the first week of June, it's an awesome party where they close the roads down and you have nearly 150,000 visitors will visit between the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This place is rocking. Amazing if you love the nightlife, if you love bringing family and friends in to show off where you live. The downside, if you live here, sometimes parking can be a challenge, road closures, and of course the frustration of just having 100,000 people in your neighborhood sometimes adds to the stress of living here. Now, in terms of my affinity for Unionville, my opinion is a little bit biased as I own the RE/MAX office right here on Main Street, Unionville, located at 190 Main Street, Unionville. If you're ever around, pop on by. We're gonna make sure you feel right at home. One of the trends we've seen in terms of real estate in Unionville over the past 15 years has been the tearing down of older bungalows on 60 and 70-foot lots and the rebuild of luxurious custom-built homes. Again, polarized opinions on whether we should carry on with that trend, as people love the idea of building their dream home, and the lot and lot location is incredible here in Unionville. But of course, you've got a different point of view, which is historic Main Street. Unionville should remain historic, trying to preserve its cultural look and integrity. Of course, there's always two sides of the argument whether we should control and maintain historical cultural integrity in a community or whether we should allow for revitalization and modernization with new construction. I had a chance to chat with our town crier, Mr. John Webster, on our podcast. And if you're interested in hearing what he had to say, super interesting conversation about redevelopment from the 50s all the way to the 2000s. Now, if you'd like to listen to that conversation, click on the link in the description for the podcast where I interviewed John Webster. So if you're looking for something to do on a Thursday or Friday night, and you're looking for a quick bite, maybe a pub style, check out Jake's or Unionville Arms. If you're looking for some Indian food, you could check out Ambient Restaurant. If you're looking for maybe a more upscale dining experience, you could check out great Italian restaurants like Il Postino or one of my personal favorites, Watercolors. So if you're looking for something to do on a lazy Sunday afternoon, check out Sweetie Pie for some tasty treats or grab a coffee at Starbucks and tour around Two Good Pond. Now don't feed the ducks. We've been sternly warned not to feed them, but you can count them and look at them. And of course you can visit great places like Frog Park or Unionville Library. From a walkability perspective, I would give Unionville an 8 out of 10 as it's highly walkable from a lifestyle perspective. Great bars, coffee shops, restaurants, great schools, parks, and of course just a short walk to excellent public transit, including the Unionville GO station, brings you straight in to downtown Toronto in about 45 minutes. Now from a driving perspective, you're just 5 minutes from Highway 407, and from a physical fitness and outdoors perspective, tons of parks and gyms, including world-renowned Pan Am Center, which is located just at Enterprise Boulevard and Kennedy. World-class facility for aquatics and athletics. Now let's change gears and I want to talk about some of my least favorite communities in Markham, and I'll tell you why. All right, now let's kick things off with downtown Markham. If you're someone who loves the hustle and bustle of urban life, this could be a great fit for you. Now it's located in the heart of Markham near Warden and Highway 7, and downtown Markham is one of the vibrant hubs with great amenities like Cineplex, the Pride of Canada Carousel, and of course upcoming York University. One of the benefits of downtown Markham is proximity to public transit and potentially living close to your work, as there is a mix between large condos and some commercial buildings as well. One of the reasons downtown Markham made it on my list of places to watch out for in the city of Markham is that it's not done yet. This is part of the master plan development, which is set to take approximately 25 years to develop. Now, fun fact, when I was in university, I actually worked at the city of Markham in their planning and zoning department, which was a super cool experience as I got to watch the plans of the development of downtown Markham. Now, I remember sitting with my boss at the time. He was a lead planner for the city of Markham, and he described this micro community within Markham, which would house 30,000 new units. And I said, how could you build in the center of the city that's already super congested an additional 30,000 units for people to live without building the infrastructure? So he communicated that, don't worry, the infrastructure will come. Part of the reason why I'm not in love with downtown Markham is because the units to live in are there, the amenities are there, but the infrastructure's not there yet. So it does make it a little bit transient feeling, a lack of sense of community or maybe neighborhood vibes where you get to know your neighbors, not quite there in downtown Markham. It's a great place to visit if you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, but from a living everyday perspective, it's not on the top of my list. Now, part of the challenges with the lack of infrastructure is the constant development. York University just opened, and that really congested the area as they were building these mega structures. Of course, Metropia is building Union City's 3-tower condominium complex, which is going to be great when it's done. But in the meantime, roads are closed off, people are working on one-way traffic, and the place is full of dust. I really want you to have a solid understanding of what each community in Markham has to offer. From an urban perspective, if you like the idea of downtown living, downtown might be a great place for you. If you've got a dog or you've got some young kids or a young family and you like the idea of outdoor space, I would put downtown Markham near the bottom of outdoor living. Now, from a walkability perspective, I would put downtown Markham near the top, as there are public transit systems that would take you to and from the downtown core, as well as different pockets of Markham. But I would say from a driving perspective, it can be challenging as the roads can be congested, and unless you have your own parking spot in one of the condos, parking on the roads can be a challenge. Now, when it comes to schools, there's not a lot of local schools yet. As the infrastructure develops, there are plans for new schools to be built, but as of right now, you're going to be bused to one of the existing schools in one of the other communities that I've mentioned in this video. Now, the good news is Good Life has its gym on the second floor of the downtown Markham hub. I work out there 3 days a week. As you can tell, I don't work out well, but I'm there, and it's a great facility with all up-to-date equipment. It's a great place to just grab a bite to eat, work out, watch a movie, grab a coffee, hang out with friends. Downtown Markham also has its own large patio outside some of the main restaurants like Milestones, where they have projection screens running movies on Friday nights for family. And during the Olympics, they would have a projection. During the Olympics, they'd have large screens and small groups of people out there cheering on our Olympians like Andre DeGrasse. So if you're looking to get into one of your first properties, maybe a small condo, this might be a great place for you if you're looking for a simple life with low maintenance. Now, if you're a young family or growing family and you're looking for a place to kind of enjoy some privacy and outdoor space, I would say downtown Markham's near the bottom of the list. Now, from an investor's perspective, downtown Markham could be a great option as we are seeing the numbers at Markham's York University campus increase year over year. And of course, with so many businesses popping up and head offices anchoring themselves in Markham, there's definitely a long-term gain of owning real estate in downtown Markham. And moving on to Cornell, a newer, rapidly developing community in Markham. If you're looking for a modern suburban neighborhood with all the conveniences of contemporary living, Cornell might be the right place for you. Cornell offers plenty of green spaces, modern amenities, and of course a Cornell Community Center. Newly built homes are catered towards families and young professionals with high walkability in mind, great schools, shopping, and public transit all within short reach. Now, real estate in Cornell is made up of townhomes, semi-detached, detached homes, and of course a few low-rise condos. Most of them have been built in the last 25 years. Now, this is a perfect community for people looking for a quieter, family-oriented neighborhood without being too far from the city's core. However, as a newer community, some of the parts of Cornell are still under development, and it feels like Cornell is always under development and expansion, which is great because it increases the amenities, but makes living there a little bit of a challenge. This means you might have to deal with ongoing construction, fewer mature trees compared to older neighborhoods, but for many, the trade-off is well worth it for a brand new home in a growing community. Now, smaller lots and tightly packed homes, lots of townhomes, and high densification are some of the reasons why I've given this a lower score as a community to live in. I do believe that Cornell's principle of what we call new home urbanism, the idea where your garage is detached and located behind your home, allows for homes to be close together, allows for nice front porches for families to sit and have a coffee or watch kids play near the street. It does add for a community vibe, but I don't love the idea of always accessing your home through the rear. From a design perspective, it's excellent to not have this big clunky garage eating up so much main floor square footage that you would see in traditional homes built in, for example, Berczy community, which we talked about earlier in this video. The designs in Cornell are great because a 36-foot wide home with no garage means you actually have a 36-foot wide main floor. Subtract the side yards, so maybe a 30-foot main floor, which gives for a great functional main floor layout. The trade-off there is that you're constantly lugging garbage in and out, groceries in and out, and in my case with 3 kids, muddy or snowy boots in and out through the back of your home, which is generally where the kitchen is located. Personally, I don't love the idea of my mudroom being in my kitchen, but I do have a ton of clients that live in Cornell and they swear by the lifestyle and the quality of construction. Now, one of the big bright spots for Cornell living is got to be the completion of the Super Park. Now, it's almost 5 acres of outdoor space, including baseball diamonds, basketball courts, pickleball, outdoor splash pad, jungle gyms, of course, multiple soccer fields, and that's where you'll catch me anywhere between 3 and 5 nights a week at the Super Park soccer field. I've got 2 kids in competitive soccer. I play soccer myself, and I love it because they have this, tons of amenities, but of course you've got this pathway that trails all the way around the park with these little gazebos with benches and picnic tables all along the way where people hang out. I see people all the time bringing little barbecues or even hosting birthday parties at the park. Now this goes back to the core value of Cornell, which was a place where you can live, have fun, and of course work all within the same community, which is part of the new home urbanism development plan, which is the foundation of the Cornell community. Now, the outdoor super park is great for about 8 months of the year, but for something to do all year round, the Cornell Community Center is definitely a great place for people in the community to hang out, whether it's at the indoor pool, the basketball courts, the town-run gym, and of course the Cornell Library, all housed within the same building, world-class facility. Of course, we can't talk about Cornell without mentioning Markham Stouffville Hospital. The hospital is located near 9th Line and Highway 7 and has gone through some recent renovations and has some plans for expansion, which include accessibility to the new public transit hub right in the corner. The bus station at 9th Line and Highway 7 should get you to York University, downtown Markham, downtown Toronto, and of course along Highway 7 on the YRT, making Cornell an accessible community for the rest of your life, even if you don't have a car. Now, this did make it on my list of places to watch out for, and that's primarily based on the fact that the lack of mature trees and the constant construction in the neighborhood really takes away from the overall aesthetics of the neighborhood. Another element of Cornell that some people love is the fact that the detached garages could also be used as a coach house. So builders like Mattamy Homes, Ballantrae, and Madison Homes would build a second-story residence above your detached garage. Now this is great for homeowners as a way to offset your carrying cost. But as a member of the community, it is a bit tricky as these are mostly rented out, and you have this blend between homeowners and tenants within the community, which there's nothing wrong with, but it does take away from the sense of community when people are constantly coming and going. So there you have it, some of the best and worst areas to live in Markham. Each neighborhood has its own strengths and weaknesses, and of course it's important for you to know and understand each community so you can find the right fit for you and your family's needs. So whether you're drawn to the urban energy of downtown Markham, the historic charm of Unionville, or the suburban comfort of Cornell living, there's a place for everyone in this diverse city. Whether you're considering a move to Markham or you just want to learn more about the community and maybe understand what might be the right fit for you and your family, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you find your dream home. So if you're considering a move to Markham, or maybe just have a couple of questions about the community, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. Thanks for watching this video to the end. If you enjoy this type of content, do me a favor and hit the like button. Of course, in the comments below, I want you to let me know, did I miss anything? Did I nail it with the pros and the cons? Was there a neighborhood I should have highlighted as the best or worst place to live in Markham? And of course, if you want to stay up to date on all things Markham, hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a video. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Make it a great one.